When my parents left for their anniversary, my babysitter asked, "Where do you go for timeout?" I laughed nervously. "We don't do timeout. My parents don't even ground me." "Then we're starting today," she responded, dragging a chair towards our hallway closet. She was actually going to lock me in there. I pulled out my phone to text my parents that their babysitter was insane, but she snatched it. "No devices. Your parents' orders." I ran to the house phone and called Mom. She picked up immediately. "Mom, this babysitter is trying to lock me in a closet. Miss Vicky is in charge. Do what she says." Mom's voice was weirdly cold. "This is for your own good. See you Monday," Dad yelled from the background. "We love you." Click. They hung up, and before I had time to process, Miss Vicky had finished setting up the closet with just a wooden chair inside. Reflection begins now. 1 hour. For what? I didn't do anything. After what you did last Tuesday, your parents want immediate correction. She checked her watch. 59 minutes now. I sat in that dark closet, confused and angry, thinking about last Tuesday. I literally just went to school, came home, played Xbox. When the hour ended, she opened the door. "Dinner is what you've earned." She placed a bowl of plain white rice and a glass of water on the table. "This is insane. My parents would never—" "Shut up!" she screamed before throwing my glass against the wall. That evening, she made me handwrite a 500-word essay on respecting others' property. While I wrote, my phone buzzed from where she'd locked it in her bag. She checked it and her face got stern. "Your friend Marco is texting. He says, 'Did your dad find out about the Xbox thing?' I had no idea what he was talking about. The next day, I woke up at 6 a.m. to the babysitter pulling off my blanket. "Labor builds character. You'll deep clean this entire house today." "Yeah, no, I'm not your maid. I'm calling child services." I rolled back over and pulled my pillow over my head. "This is completely legal. You can clean voluntarily, or I can stand here with an industrial bottle of bleach for 8 hours until you do." As I scrubbed the kitchen floor with a toothbrush, she took photos. "Your parents want documentation of accountability." She aimed her phone at me like I was some kind of criminal. I stopped trusting her after that. That afternoon, silent reflection. No speaking from 2 to 6 p.m. I sat there in silence while she read a book, occasionally looking up to make sure I hadn't moved. When I shifted positions, she'd snap, start over. 4 more hours. My sister texted and Miss Vicky read it aloud. "Tell him I'm sorry, but he shouldn't have used Dad's card for Xbox stuff." I never used Dad's card. I had my own debit card from birthday money. That evening, she made me watch a documentary about juvenile detention centers. Kids my age in orange jumpsuits talking about ruining their lives with one bad decision. "This could be your future if you don't learn now," she said during a scene about a kid who stole from his parents. "Your cellmate won't care that your ass is crying for mommy." "I didn't steal anything. Denial is expected. Your father found the charges Tuesday night." She pulled out her phone and laughed while she recorded me crying. "Your parents want to see what guilt looks like." But my parents still cut the crusts off my sandwiches and let me stay up as late as I wanted. Something wasn't adding up. The next morning, she woke me up at 5 a.m. by dumping a cup of ice water on my face. She took my mattress, dragging it to the garage. "Thieves in prison sleep on concrete. Consider this practice." Made me ask permission for bathroom breaks. 3 minutes maximum. Supervised. My best friend Reese managed to sneak a call through the landline. "Dude, Marco is freaking out. He said his mom wants to talk to your parents about paying them back." Beep. Miss Vicky unplugged the phone from the wall. That's another night on the floor. That afternoon, she pulled out printed pages, bank statements with highlighted charges, 5 different charges of $99.99 each to Xbox Live. Still denying it, she pointed at the timestamps. 3:47 p.m. You were home from school. On Sunday morning, my sister called on Miss Vicky's phone. The babysitter finally let me talk, but kept it on speaker. "Just confess already," my sister said. "They know everything." "What do they know?" "I didn't do anything," my sister sighed. "Marco's mom showed them the Discord messages, idiot." "What Discord messages?" "The ones where you taught Marco how to use Dad's credit card info for Xbox purchases without getting caught. Where you literally wrote, 'Keep it under $100 each time so it doesn't flag the bank,' and my dad never checks his statements anyway." Everything clicked. I had told Marco all that. I'd done it myself 3 times before and never got caught. But Marco was supposed to delete those messages. Miss Vicky took the phone back. "Your parents arrive in 2 hours. I recommend you prepare your confession." When my parents walked in, they looked exhausted. "Forget the money," Dad said. "We knew about that months ago. We were testing you." Mom nodded. "To see if you'd blame Marco, if you'd throw him under the bus to save yourself." "I failed every test. So here's what happens now," Dad continued, pulling out plane tickets. "Military school in Montana tonight." But Miss Vicky interrupted. "Actually, there's been a change of plans."